Wave in mid is crashing. Chovy's on his way.
Canyon, can he find a way into the pit? Labrov locked up for a moment. Maokai ulti over the wall. Eyes on the dragon. Who's going to be able to get it? Caps. Beautiful start to the fight. Knock up coming through as well. Ruler's trying to back off, but they're getting lower and lower. Calling over the wall, but Ruler's in no man's land. And finally, Keen has come through, but the tower finishes the job. The kill goes to Labrov. This is the power of the pick, especially as we get closer to that level 11 mark. More items under his belt. It's the poke. So does Herald secured. Control can't come back to bite you, but it's definitely an option for G2.
Gen.G this time set up first in the river. If it isn't for Caps getting one of the big engages, it's actually kind of hard for them to also get on top of Gen.G. The disengage is really good with that Braum. Though is already a little bit low. Is Keen. TP's in. Possibility for a salt win here for G2.
Set up off to the side. G2 second on the objective, but here comes the Maokai ultimate. Ruler sidestepping. Crucially, Caps looking for the knockup, but already going in is Keen on the side, and he's going to get cut down. Knock to the backside is Labrov. Fall onto Chovy. The Azir gone. Damage deleted. G2 find another fight by the Drake.
And Gen.G get caught sleeping. Keen goes way too deep. Gets on top of Chovy, charms him, and sets him up for a great ultimate from Caps. Really big deal.
Quick play on the side lane. Caps snaps through. We'll be able to pull back, flash away. Q3 still living for a moment, but Chovy gets the job done. Shutdown for Gen.G.
Definitely necessary there for Gen.G. Caps and kind of running the game so far. Kill going over to the Azir. That also is going to be the bot lane secure. There's still a Herald as well for Gen.G. That was back-to-back. A large part of many of the plays thus far is mid lane, now being sieged here by Gen.G.
Onsama stepping up, laying down the hail of arrows. His Broken Blade lays a bit of damage down, but tanks 2 tower shots. Definitely not ideal. Keen keeping the fight going. Broken Blade can't afford to stick around. That AoE damage is going to hurt, but Skewmon coming in the blink of an eye, offers an exit and a quick death for Keen.
And Keen, he sees a tasty food for the crocodile, and guess what? It was bait all along. Broken Blade finds his teammate Skewmon arriving in a perfect moment of time, and notably, if Keen doesn't go for that and just stays near his turret, it's a win for Gen.G. They get the mid lane.
G2 have made the call, it seems, to give this one up. But
There's
no,
the
TP in from Jax. Caps recalling, buying an item. That's the ulti going in from the Maokai. They want to split it. They want to 50-50 it. Skewmon against Canyon. Who can get it?
He got it!
It's Canyon in the clutch. Finding a way, but the ball from Caps is there. Down goes Keen. No, lives for an extra moment. The snapback will get it done. Q, knock up onto 2. Duro on the way out. Chovy with the pushback to hold the line, but Skewmon goes in one more time. They get the objective. They get what they came for, but they paid much more than they wanted to.
And Otacon turns your teams into paperbacks as Ruler just goes in, flashes out. Nothing he can do.
There, waiting it out. Won't quite fade away in time. Caps a few more seconds. Hansama flash forward, wants to finish the job under Ruler. One more item will do it. The hail of arrows. 10-2. G2 with the gold lead in game 1. Labrov looking for the knockup. Duro next. It's an ace. It's a soul. Potentially the start of something new. I won't pretend that the early game stats were pretty, but holding on, finding a way to scale into this game is a big deal for G2's hopes here. Knockback is big though. Labrov caught out, not respecting the Mega Blast Cone. Shut down for Duro. A little supportal combat. And a big misstep right ahead of Baron.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna make the call. Gonna try and play here.
Instantaneous TP.
Babs
gonna lose the snapback in a second here. Might have wanted to get another cooldown. And this
they
is
have
the thing.
to.
No matter how far ahead you feel, no matter how comfortable the game seems against a team like Gen.G, it's not over until the Nexus falls.
The poke is hitting though, look at the damage!
Onsama, almost 6K in the last fight. How much will we get here? If the arrows keep connecting, this is gonna be big. Duro's gonna have to use the Unbreakable in a second. Taking his time, ulti into the midst of the pit. Skewmon to follow. Caps standing behind. Chovy goes golden buys a brief second, but he just sells out Ruler. The pushback is massive for Chovy. The Azir is still alive. He's free hitting, but there's just too much damage. G2 shredding through Gen.G. Quick flash out from Chovy. Sliding to safety. Objective down, but again, it is the fight.
At the beginning of this play, and even though Caps doesn't quite find the mark, Chovy finds a stopwatch. It doesn't matter, because again, Broken Blade on this, but this is where I think the threat of that Maokai comes in big. Caps looking for an angle as well, I'm sure.
G2 favored in the composition. Gen.G playing into the choke. Makes the Maokai all, the Yone all powerful. Multiple ults used, traded back, but it's a quick snap out from Caps. He still has an ulti of his own. Broken Blade in the midst of the team. Backing away. 6K. The Elder starts to reset. You don't want to take a 50-50 against Canyon.
I just pull off. Gen.G looking to teleport Keen back in. Starrick's still available. Duro is low. There's no smite on Labrov right now, so this would just be a straight up 50-50.
G2 are stone cold. Looks like they might have found the angle. Lockup is there. Immediate fall from Labrov. Chovy's not going to have a chance to respond to CC. Flawless. Hans on a rampage. G2 finding the angle. The patience, the discipline around the objective, unseen in play-ins, comes roaring out on the main stage, but it's Labrov again, over-eager. The Elder still critical, untaken, for now uncontested.
Oh, Canyon on vision. Obviously going to try and look for the steal. I don't think he should be allowed to approach this. Broken Blade, standing guard.
But it's a 2. Broken Blade has to retreat. Hans getting some poke down. Canyon with the flash. 5K. Caps going for the knockup. Everything used to deny this jungler access. But now no one's on the objective. No one's on the Drake. They're taking their time. Keen slowly burnt down.
That's going to be
Dragon
it.
Set to fall as well. Keen running for his life. G2. Soul. Elder. 7K.
Gen.G, they can't really do anything. They're just going to have to give up a good amount of objectives. And again, 20 seconds till that Baron is up here. And G2, unless something absolutely ballistic happens, should be looking at a game 1 lead here.
Broken Blade staying in the wave. Quick stun.
Being
Ward
attacked
hop over the wall. Gen.G trying to collapse somewhere, look for an angle, but it does cost him a bit of damage on the top side tower because it's only Keen left to defend it.
45 seconds.
TP coming in, matched immediately by Caps. That's the ulti out from Skewmon. Push back from Chovy, a solid start, but Ruler, the culling goes completely wide. Caps over the wall, looking to find a man, looking to find the knockup, but Canyon is untouched for now. G2 descending into the base, and it's all eyes on the Broken Blade, leaping forward. Ruler can't get it done. G2 in game 1. Not a single person predicting in their favor on the desk, but they managed to find a way. And the confidence on this lineup as they close this game, as they draw first blood in this best of 5.
He are not
In the early stages of this matchup on the top side than he was in the previous one. It's now Gen.G looking to re-dive. Knock up there onto Hans. Q follow, Vault Breaker and the first blood. Gen.G make it look easy. And it's a nice commitment from Canyon. Lets one wave go by. Skewmon leaves, he comes again.
Oh, that's pre-6 Wukong though. Not quite the same amount of power. Keen is a little low though.
Keen, careful to get his damage out before he overheats. The taunt, solid, good damage. Flashing to safety. Broken Blade chunked out.
Uh-oh.
Won't quite fall, but those minions doing a hell of a lot of damage. Keen.
Canyon's on his way. He still has flash.
No. The flash from Broken.
The vibe's good there as the TP comes in. Canyon maybe in trouble.
Canyon. Labrov just able to hit the edge on the knockup. Canyon still only level 4. Flashing over the wall. Knockback onto Broken Blade. Duro using him as a taxi to try to make it out to safety. Doesn't have the Scuttle Crab in his favor though, so no extra movement speed. And he will get taken down. A nice little look from the side of G2.
And again, the fact that Skewmon also was the one that picked up the kill, I think pretty big deal. The Wukong snowballs insanely well when you can get these. Skewmon has the ultimate available. Slight gold lead, but the bot lane just can't move.
Ruler.
Yeah, they're gonna...
Chovy committed to recalling though.
Maybe look for one. Chovy does have TP.
Will TP in. G2 might just have to be happy with that as a consolation prize, but Skewmon's still sticking around, maybe hoping to find a steal. Hansama at least getting the souls. Nice engage coming in from Duro. Lock up there onto the Wukong. Chovy's ult goes in as well, and down goes Skewmon. Labrov caught in the midst of the pit. Hansama laying down a bit more shielding, and it looks like Vi will fall. Canyon spit over the wall. Taken out of the pit, Hansama. Waiting for the flash to come through. Root is there. Curtains called on Labrov, and down goes the Catfish. Feet of War claimed by the side of Gen.G alongside the Grubs, excuse me.
It's a flip.
Oh,
they're going to take a bit of a gamble here. There's a
Actually,
TP.
a bold call. TP, Galio on the way in. Broken Blade probably immediately going to start channeling taunt here. Locked up. Beautiful CC layering. Finds the taunt into Duro. The stun kind of missing from the side of Ruler. Doesn't connect the snare. Now the ulti from Chovy. G2 retreating. But they've effectively lost their top laner. And Canyon's just now arriving. The equalizer's still there. The curtain call there. They got 2 ultis. But not much else to show for it as the equalizer is laid down. Canyon rooted up for a moment. Labrov taken out. Gen.G in the extended fight play so well around their cooldowns.
And G2 knowingly taking a risk there with that TP instead of trying to go for a play elsewhere on the map. In jungle, mid and AD carry could be tough as Canyon looking for a play towards mid. Again, Herald is up. That's going to be what the teams are playing for.
Q flash clean from Canyon. Hansama's got nowhere to go. Turo not even needed.
You can see not really any cross map available, unfortunately. See if they can turn it maybe into a little bit of vision towards the dragon. Skewmon walking up.
Finding Duro. Lebrov making sure he can get out, but knocked backwards. Good use of the Abyssal Dive.
Play towards mid, but top wave is getting demolished, and Jovi's going to get the free turret.
And what we have to remember in this context is Caps.
Skewmon trying to get in the opponent's heads continuously as we do have the Herald being dropped.
G2 running forward. They see Chovy on the top side. They're not concerned. Excellent combo to kick things off. Equalizer follows. Caps off to the side. He's been isolated and really looking to follow. Lebrov resets the fight with the Devour. Gets a bit more space, but Gen.G have already taken the tower, and now it's Chovy chasing through. Duro looking for another combo! The Alistar finding the angle, but they're only hitting the tankiest members. Cap still stepping forward, looking for a bit more damage, but now the curtains have been called. Body block there, Lebrov getting low. Skewmon covering. G2 holding on for now, but they've lost priority. No! Ruler! Patience in the Gen.G logo!
OTP, DTP, look at the flank!
G2 trying to throw a Hail Mary here.
It's two of them.
Gen.G committed so much to the midway play. Trying to get Drake might be greedy, but G2, do they have the damage to punish? Chovy locked up. Root there, he doesn't have the ulti to escape. Skewmon now trying to get out. Keen burning everybody! The Rumble alive! Ruler's only got 2 more shots! But it might not matter. 1 more bullet to come through. The root connecting. Ruler so damn fast. Chovy alive as well. G2 crumble!
The G2 go for the Hail Mary, the double TP, but it doesn't quite work out. Gen.G, despite using so many tools, it feels like initially maybe too many on that mid lane players. Oh, Ruler.
Missile Voyage there. Q, Auto.
Woo! 1,000 gold! And that's not something we say often.
No. I wasn't particularly hungry for Heartsteel for this team, but hey, you get it a little sooner. A lot sooner. I think that is as production is highlighting here, that is a sated Kinch coin paste gold grind as Q just barely not going to hit, but now it's Hansama who's been locked up. Hansama who's getting picked in mid lane. Duro taking his sweet time trying to find more. Chovy is there. G2 just wanted a couple creeps and it might cost them their lives. This time they're playing it safe though. Ruler. You know he's thinking about it.
Caps did many times in the game number 1.
G2 are behind in items. They're 5,000 gold down. Keen finding himself in the midst of 3. CC there, Skewmon about to follow, tries to get out before he gets burnt to death. Devour from Lebrov. But it's Otacon in the meantime, an easy pickup for Gen.G. Happy to make the trade, 1 member. For the power of that buff.
Chovy gonna be spotting Broken Blade. Bit of a questionable flash there from Keen, given that there's a Tom Kench standing right next to the target. Trying the burn is Canyon.
Canyon overstaying a bit here, but Ruler waiting behind. Ruler with almost 3 items ready to go. Look at the damage coming through, but Hansama still living for an extra moment. Flash forward from Ruler. Hits his mark, finds his man. Chovy going face first in the caps is a bit difficult. The damage is there from the rise, but Ruler remains uncontested. 4th shot. A brief moment to reload. Realm Warp in. Wukong delivered. But Broken Blade out of mana. They can't find the engage, and out comes the ulti. It's Chovy on the side. Getting shot like fish in the barrel. Duro to follow through. Ruler, uncontested. Chovy dishing out so much damage. Skewmon tries to get something back. He has an extra moment, but the knockup is there from Duro and down.
Have his flash. At least he has the spell book. As Ruler taking business into his own hands in this game number 2.
And look at the difference in a game where Gen.G have equivalent tools to G2. Ways to start fights. Ways.
Right chuckle there from Ruler. This game, he is going to be a lot more happy. He's again a pick.
Again looking for the option. Onto Duro. They get the ulti. 2-man knockup. Ruler forced to back away. Lock into the Iron Solari used. Duro will fall.
Oh, you got to pull the trigger. Looks like they don't want to take the risk either.
Chovy.
Maybe trusting in the wands.
No getting out of this one. Chovy damage coming through. Broken Blade wants to save the day. But Ruler just cannot miss in this game. Skewmon called out, knocked down, fakes the stealth, but Canyon's not falling for it. Knock up there on Ruler, maybe it can be the turning factor. It's all eyes on Caps. Caps who has to do the damage. Caps who cannot afford to be burnt down by Keen. LeBron buys him an extra moment, but Canyon's already there. Caps running for his life, but it's just not enough. Because in the midst of the fight, it is Ruler coming in from the Yomus. Baron now as well. On a team with the
See him? That might have been the difference maker. If they get him, it could be something, but instead...
Another fight. Equalizer from Keen to kick things off. Long range route coming in from Ruler. Follow up from Duro. Broken Blade locked up. Goes Golden. LeBron, 2 seconds on the ulti. Can try to save him, but if you use that ulti, you know it's easy pickings for Canyon in the next fight. Caps on the side.
Chovy's pushing.
Yeah, Chovy is pushing. It's just 4 members. Chovy denying so much gold. Set to get this tower for free. The 3 grubs they secured earlier in the game, but G2 know they need a Hail Mary, they need a desperation play. Flash forward from Caps, root onto Ruler. Lockup coming in from Hansama, he might be vulnerable on the backside, but all that matters is killing this 80 carry. G2 find their man, but now it's Chovy in the fight. Chovy who deletes Hansama. Canyon follow-up, Duro there as well, trying to lock down the rise. Keen gonna follow up as well. Caps, not enough room to play, but the taunt from Broken Blade is big. He's burning in the midst of it all, though. And again, it is Gen.G who will not falter, and Chovy with the quadra.
And G2 with the TP, with the Realm Warp, they do find a Ruler, but unfortunately the game has destabilized to the point where it just doesn't matter. Keen is toasting them 10 stacks dark, still same for Chovy, who does join, seeing his 80 carry fall. There's just too much AoE damage available here for Gen.G as the Inips falls, and we're about to go to 1-1 here, Dracos.
That we are.
Broken Blade, unfortunately, still not able to really take too much of a beating because of the state of the gold. Now Gen.G, 2 Inips down. Certainly just looking to end this one with as little opportunity as possible. And for G2, Caps does have Death Cap. If he can get a couple of rotations off, maybe that's something they can play towards, but everyone just goes down so quickly. These items on Gen.G just hurt too much.
That they do. Ocean Soul now as well, making it that much easier. A little bit of poke from Ruler can heal him back up from anything that G2 can throw back at him. That's Canyon waiting off to the side. Happy to trade his ultimate for LeBron's if he needs to. Equalizer used. Gen.G immediately pull the trigger, finding multiple members. The ults are beautiful, but it's Broken Blade with a 3-man knockup. Hansama for now uncontested. Caps burned down again. The curtain call coming in. Ruler untouched, undaunted, unfazed by a single loss. Gen.G, one final moment, taking their time. Skewmon desperately trying to make the difference with the base in tatters in front of them. Gen.G fire back in game 2 and tie.
How many times today did
Both
we watch
game
back
2
that
and
flank?
game 3, G2 consistently put in this position where they can't find optimal lane matchups as Skewmon starts to walk forward into Ruler, but again, flag and drag is all your damage. Martial cadence, a little bit more to follow, but
yeah, I think just trying to buy space. With the wave that big, there's just no way as Hans. Okay.
Over the wall. That looks a lot different if level 6 is there for Keen as Gen.G refused to allow the mini exit. Duro, quick flash over the wall looking for the setup. Gromp there to maybe body block the Sonic Wave. LeBron trying to get tricky. He knows if the Q hits, he's dead.
He lives!
Ticking.
Oh!
Flash!
Woo!
LeBron!
Not even close. The Nautilus and the Lee. That 3-man unit has so much burst available as Duro looking for another play.
X-Flash. Waiting. Gets the auto. Hook back just on the edge of tower range. Hansama living for an extra second here. Ruler full channel in the ult, but it's Canyon on the way in. Hansama, there's no way out of this one. Ulti across, trying to get something back. Canyon just kicks him into the wall. Knocks him down. First blood for the side of Gen.G.
And there, Duro again over the wall. Finding a big play. Sets it up, and Hans, because of that, doesn't have the ability to even thin out the wave. So Canyon can just walk in. And I've seen many... Isn't quite there.
Yeah. And as Ruler gets closer to the Bloodthirster.
He's almost mega. Skewmon's there as well.
Hoping to find the combo. Q3. Mininar instantly deleted. Out of turret range as well. No chance of a counter.
Comment like, guys, I know everyone always says that Gen.G is boring, but I swear it's not. I'm not being helped by the gameplay here, Dracos. I'm not going to lie.
Maybe for the viewer, but
G2 the opportunity. He has TP, by the way, so even if you try the contester while you're a member down, you don't really get to. And another wave goes into the turret, and that gold lead for Keen is going to keep getting bigger as Gen.G just Macro master. But again, Duro is just always where he needs to be.
Oh, the vision is always solid. Chovy might still be in trouble here, but it's such a gamble. G2 are kind of forced to make this play because already Broken Blade is conceding on the other side of the map. They're trying to burst through Duro in the meantime. Luckily, he gets the Aftershock down, so it's taking a bit of time from the side of G2. Cataclysm goes in. Knock up there. Skewmon grabs the first. No wave yet to play on. Gen.G, though, respond. They might not get the kill, but they get the tower. And now it's Chovy. Will walk away. I'm getting stone cold from Chovy. Good that G2 get the kill, but conceding the tower, definitely not ideal. And now Canyon, with the Herald he grabs earlier, is set to break mid. Hansama has to be careful. Immediately tries to get out. Skewmon isolated on the side. Good damage coming in from Ruler, and down he goes. Oh, Canyon! I don't know if that was a misclick or if that was intentional, because if that was intentional, that was insanely BM. Canyon either styling or misstepping, but it doesn't matter because either way he got the kill, and he's just riding off into the night. I don't think he gets to keep his driver's license for what it's worth, though, as a side note. And I think
two of the members, they're still an angle. I don't know if they spotted Keen. We see some pings. I don't think they know, but now they for sure do.
Flying Drake, Skewmon a little bit awkward now. Tansama, who's been caught out. Ulti coming through for Keen. He tries to E, but he's still caught up. Keen on the chase. CC there. He's a bit squishier now, and G2 are trying to fire back. Keen overeager, but Ruler finds them in the choke. Not as much damage as I thought it'd be. Chunks them out. Canyon ready to go. Sonic Wave hits. Keen already retreating. Still has the TP, might not have the all-up, but might not need it
as well. Yeah, they can't fight this. There's no shot. They really needed to get the pick onto Keen there, but the rest of the team is ready.
Duro waiting over the wall just to make sure they're not risking the 50-50, although Broken Blade. Disgusting. Like that was a nasty play as LeBron's been caught out. Canyon finds another alongside Chovy, and it's Caps in the meantime. Otacon backing him up, lowering some of those resistances, but he has to get the hell out. Canyon still going. Completely fearless, styling, dashes through, kick back! The mental damage, let alone the physical damage! Canyon just keeps coming. Ruler in the meantime finds the isolated target. It's a shutdown for Hansama, but Chovy responds with a great kill, and Skewmon will die in the meantime. Gen.G losing that game one must have been personal because they are obliterating G2 now.
Dracos, I want you to cast your mind back to 2019 when Canyon, back then, on Dumb One Gaming, got absolutely obliterated by G2. And I had always thought, together with Showmaker by side, I had always thought that Showmaker took that way more personal. I'm not so sure anymore.
It's just too damn tanky. Again, 23 minutes, AK gold lead. G2 praying for a mistake, hoping to find an angle that Gen.G haven't anticipated, but Gen.G just have so much control.
And the 2-item spikes, Ardon is a Skewmon.
Goes in. Skewmon doesn't really have another angle, but whoops to flag and drag out and drops down dead. And G2 no hope now. When it spawns,
if there was
but it's still a minute away because it's only 23 minutes, so they're just going to go for Otacon.
Yeah, if he got flash out of that, even if he ends up dying, I think it's worth, we're looking at, you need a crazy Baron play. Maybe Skewmon can find his way into the pit, steal it away.
Shattering strike, if he does, probably to immediately engage as Hansama's been caught out on the side, shifts over the wall, but now it's Keen running down. Good ulti comes in from Ruler. Duro, unfortunately, hooking the wall means that Hansama might be able to escape with his life. Canyon ready to body block.
Oh, the TP.
Chovy isolated on side. Broken Blade, a lot of CC, should just be able to run him down. Flashing over, looks like the pick on the side lane. Shut down for G2.
Dragon, but Gen.G unrelenting. Keen, he's just going to keep on going. No one's answering him.
G2 willing to concede, hoping to find an even fight with Keen. Not in the area, TPing back to mid lane though after knocking down that tier 2. Gen.G holding on to that 7.5k gold lead.
You gotta
G2
try.
no ultis though.
You gotta try.
No ulti on the Victor, ulti on the Ezreal might do a little bit of damage, but they're already being shepherded back into the pit. Ulti goes in from LeBron just to get a bit of space. Keen in the face of multiple members of G2 is not taking any damage. Broken Blade to the back line. No!
That's free!
Into the wall! Fall from Skewmon into 2, but Keen again! The Cassante just generating so much space. They finally hit the combo, but it's too damn late. Gen.G more powerful. Finding the angles. Hansama running Keen. Playing greedy, playing aggressive, unafraid. It might cost him his life though. Steps back into Canyon. Canyon flash forward. One more out to get it done. Hoping to find a kick locked up into the tower, but Ruler is here to finish the job. LeBron Knocked down, 2 for Ruler. And in the midst of it all, it's Chovy looking to land the death blow, pushing down in the mid lane.
Chovy shows up wondering what happened to the party. He thought he was invited. But Gen.G already cleaned up everything, as this game number 2 was an immense blowout, Dracos.
Game 2 was dominant. Game 3 was a slaughter. Gen.G.
People there. But
move on. The second they don't see anyone bot lane, they know that there has to be something afoot.
Oh no.
Now Broken Blade will be here. Has the flash. Do they immediately go for the gank? Chains there. Knock back to the wall. Solid. Broken Blade getting lower, and he's likely to fall now. First blood for the side of Gen.G.
We also see Keen really get the most out of the phase rush, right? We've seen so many grasp chases. It's easy to forget. Used to basically always go for this rune as
Duro
your cancel.
Right as the Zenith Blade comes through before the stun actually takes effect. Doing fine in these trades. The good news is Hansam has been able to stay relatively even in CS. You can see an early boots purchase, but Rob just keeps going. Aftershock there, the Leona so tanky, but not tanky enough. One more auto, and LeBron gets the kill. Excuse me, Ruler.
Will not finish the Berserker Greaves, but these decisions from G2 in lane, this is feeling eerily reminiscent of that game number 3, Dracos.
Thus far, seems like everything has gone wrong for the side of G2. LeBron walking into face check, level 3, gets punched into the wall. Hansama immediately flicked back. Caps is here.
Skewmon to steal.
Still relatively okay. Skewmon walking in, hoping to get the steal, and he's gonna take it. But they're losing kills. They've given so much just to contest. Hansama forced to flash out. Keen, low on mana. Flash forward from LeBron, determined to get it. Just wants to keep going forward. LeBron getting lower and lower. Hansama waiting over the wall. He might just die in an instant, but the Q, the Acathian Rain almost gets the job done. Finally, Keen goes down. G2 trying to fight their way through the deficit. Just keep going. And they manage. Level 7 there for Caps. Skewmon waiting over the wall.
Big chunks.
Nice gold card onto Chovy, trying to outspace here. Unraveled Earth there. And Chovy just speeding off into distance. Power of that phase rush. Skewmon hits him with the what? The flash forward.
Might not have his item down, but he's pushing already.
I thought it was like a figure of speech when they said he went where he pleases. The downside is, as much as G2 are getting plays, giving us reasons to get excited, they're still conceding objectives around the map. Do anything. The Mundo passive, immune to that initial piece of CC, as Broken Blade forced to ult. Ruler, nice movement thus far, but Q2 does connect. Broken Blade just using it for a bit of extra healing. The Corki pressure, still pretty massive. Conqueror proc doesn't have Triforce yet, but still really starting to hurt.
It's the gold, right? As Ruler
caught out. Gold card wasn't ready for it. Chovy's here, but it might be too late. One more auto coming in. The Infernal Chains bring him right back into the waiting arms of Broken Blade.
And now the gold lead.
Stepping up for the gold card. That much faster because of the scuttle.
The poke is hitting, but Gen.G, they're just starting to dragon, and Keen's here without TP. I don't think they can contest.
Skewmon.
Another one.
Walking forward. Won't be able to get it. Gen.G, good patience.
Ruler, he's pretty far up.
Spotting Hansama, LeBron on the way in. Ulti hits, cleanses there. Ruler retreating. Zenith Blade doesn't quite connect. Gen.G able to keep their 80 carry standing, but double sums from Ruler.
Still a big win. You get both cleanse and flash.
It's a big cancel if they can find it. Caps' TP available, but he's still going to lose all those creeps because he has to recall. Hansama.
He's going to keep on going. Chovy has ult. Can try and look for a play here.
And Canyon doesn't have to do anything. He just has to hover. Yep. Like there is the threat. It forces. It stops all the recalls. Skewmon grabbing the mid wave, and now it's Broken Blade in trouble. Ulting. World Ender trying to make it out. Taking his time as he's knocked back. Good damage goes through. Broken Blade continuing to step up, feeling confident.
Might be looking for another collapse on him, but reinforcements are on the way.
No ulti, but he does have the flash. Knocked into the wall. Skarner setup. Beautifully layered. The TP coming through as well. Broken Blade's got nowhere to go. Extra healing coming from the Thunder Sky, just trying to delete the wave, but he's going to get flicked back as Keen grabs the kill.
No longer going to be the case as Gen.G in the span of just a few minutes with a couple of great plays.
Chovy
able to get further ahead.
Blue Smite. Slow doesn't quite hit. Forced to flash away. Mundo just keeps going. Duro has to be careful.
I know about this one.
Spell immune now. Decent damage. Mitigating what he can. Exhaust going to Ulti coming in from Caps. Bit of CC, but doesn't connect the stun. Duro able to find the knockback, but Caps is still in the area. Skewman immediately going to ult, trying to keep this fight going. Chovy not able to find the flick as Caps flashes out. Gen.G, a lot of resources burned. Ruler finally able to get here.
But despite it, they got Herald. They already got what they wanted, Dracos. It was a heist, and they were like, well, let's see if we can fight. Can't fight? It's okay. It was backing off.
And while the kills are close, it's the same story it's been this entire game. G2 conceding so many objectives, so many little things across the map to make these plays. I love the lust for blood, the hunger, the aggressiveness, the confidence.
Oh, Chovy, no flash. Does have his ult, but there's a lot of CC here.
Brav not able to find the Zenith Blade. Good sidestep from Caps, taking their time. LeBron gonna tank it. Shield coming in just in time for Chovy. The fully stacked tier doing a ton of work.
And they might get this dragon. And yeah, it's Cloud. That feels...
Canyon.
Oh, Canyon.
The 50-50. Skewmon manages to get it. And now the immediate retreat, but the mid lane tower already gone. Ruler does a lot of damage. Duro knockback, but doesn't find Hansama into the wall. Canyon going forward, will get Broken Blade. Big damage, and Ruler just allowed to free hit. Skewmon, though, continuing to walk forward. Skewmon completely unconcerned about the damage. Duro goes down. Canyon likely next. He's getting next to the wall because he desperately needs to run away, but Skewmon is on the chase. Going where he damn well pleases, but he's on the opposite side of the wall, and now it's Chovy. Looking to engage. Broken Blade taking massive damage. The Aatrox likely to fall. Flash away. Umbral dash. And Keen keeps the pressure up. G2 again.
But this
they're getting fights, they're getting close now, but they're losing everything else.
That's the problem. Yes, you get the top, or you get the mid lane play. You kill the Poppy. But while that's happening, Keen is pushing so hard that there's no other opportunity for you than just keep responding. Skewmon just gets obliterated in his own jungle, by the way, as the damage clearly is there. This early lead on the Mundo not quite working out, but the fact that Caps doesn't get to respond, because if he goes and TPs in, and that fight is not a complete and utter win, like King gets an inner. Instead he gets an inner, which still feels bad, but it's these cross-map plays as Gen.G, they just keep setting up these traps, and it looks like Caps has fallen for it again.
Caught out, has the ulti, but the CC held.
They're not going to use, oh yeah, not waiting until the end. Mid lane being as low as they were, no contest possible. That's going to be Otacon here for Gen.G, as they keep inching closer and closer to that match victory. Looking at the item spikes though for G2, maybe once Hans gets a little bit further in as, ooh, the TP.
Trying to find the engage. LeBron off to the side, locking down Canyon. Gold card ready to go. Impale only going to connect on one. Skewmon here as well. Canyon going to get taken down. Kill donated to Caps. A big goal
coming through. I think Gen.G don't want to give over any chance for G2 to get this Drake.
In. They managed to find Chovy off on the side, though. An early departure from the wall. Sees him face-to-face with Skewmon. Broken Blade going for 1v1 versus Keen, and it doesn't look like he's going to come out on top. But a quick flash! Massive healing coming in the Sundered Sky. Just in time. Gold card from behind. Chovy locked up. Unraveled Earth. Perfectly hits on Zama. Now Ruler just throwing down damage. Caps force back. Gold card. Giving them a bit more space. They don't quite have the follow-ups. The poke from the Aatrox Q is there. Gen.G retreating. G2 with
the dragon. Gonna go over. Not gonna be found. But with those kills and that shutdown, 2-0. G2 keep the gold close.
2 dragons to 2. Duro goes in. We'll be able to just immediately walk away. He is forced to use the heal.
No, he just cleansed his spellbook. Yeah. Also has McKills in case Ruler gets in trouble.
I respect anyone who brings cleanse to Summoner's spellbook.
That's good.
You got Steadfast Presence.
And Yen finds Skewmon. Both of them, I think, just looking for a stack. The turret goes down.
Gen.G keeping pressure mid.
Hans is pushing though, and he goes unanswered for now. Giving him additional vision. Knows, tries to set up for Dragon just with a little bit too many people. Collapse on Baron can be very, very swift here.
Broken Blade matching Keen thus far. Caps immediately going bot lane. Keen, the member who doesn't have that extra lockup, doesn't have the extra cleanse, and he's going to get taken down. But Gen.G immediately pulled the trigger in the meantime. It's Eyes in the mid lane. As Ruler will find Skewmon, manages to connect. No immediate follow-up. Chovy for now uncontested. Flash from LeBron keeps him safe. Broken Blade in the pit. Hansama and Caps on the side. Chovy focused on the objective. The Baron, the spites are bad, but they managed to get it in the end. Canyon takes the objective. Broken Blade free firing. Caps still standing. Duro down. Broken Blade still going, flashing out. Caps can't go toe-to-toe with Canyon, but the gold card might be able to buy him a bit of a second, a bit more time. It's still the Baron down. A triple for Ruler. G2 cannot make it happen.
Ruler, I know you love your Quadras, but I don't know about chasing the Aatrox into fog. He's not afraid. He's just going to keep on going. Broke a blade. Mission impossible. They see him.
The Emerald dash, but Chovy against the wall. Too fast.
Oh.
One more dash over the wall, still running. An auto on a minion to buy a bit more health. Infernal Chain, Skewmon on the way in. Gen.G.
I think he's out Keen. Coming in on an angle.
Forward. Flick doesn't connect. Shock blast from Keen.
Not gonna die.
Ooh.
Not even close, baby. The fact that Broken Blade doesn't have his ulti to actually get the big resets, and Chovy goes uncontested in this fight, means that the objective doesn't go that way. Baron goes towards Gen.G, the Rebel Power Play. Not that impressive yet, but it gets him the soul point.
Damage carries.
Death cap for Chovy as
Broken
well.
Blade flicked back, and he's just gonna die in the blink of an eye. A blinking health bar, he'll live. It's close.
Not even close. Round 2.
That's twice. If he was a cat, he'd be 7 out of 9 lives down at this point. Caps, flash to the side, gets away from the Impale, but Gen.G looks like they're just going for the throat. They want to end it here. Game 1, G2 managed to find the advantage, managed to find the win. But since then, it's been Gen.G from start to finish. Ruler isolated wall from Canyon to keep him standing. It's Hansama.
Oh!
Chovy's damage. Doing the work. Knockup going in from Duro. Lebrov trying to retreat. That's the ulti. Canyon ready to go forward. Chovy just continues to lay down the poke. And Gen.G merciless as they march into the base of G2.
And G2, they gave it their all, but even the early leads, not enough as Gen.G march on the base. Caps behind them.
Caps behind to go golden. Managed to buy the Seekers just in time for the flick back. Skewmon in the midst of the team. Broken Blade standing, but as long as Ruler's alive, that healing reduction is just too much. The front line of G2 slowly being whittled away. Duro taking down the tower, set to fall. Keen jumping in. Finding the kill is Skewmon. There's nothing left. He's taken out. Gen.G send a statement to the rest of MSI.